The galaxy was at war. Across the stars, fleets of many alien species gathered together in one great alliance. They came from dozens of worlds, with ships larger than cities and weapons strong enough to burn planets. Their leaders had one purpose: to stop the humans. For months, rumors had spread like fire. Stories said humans were dangerous, unpredictable, and strange. Some said they were monsters in the shape of flesh. Others whispered they were clever builders who could turn a broken machine into a weapon of war. No one could agree on what humans truly were. But everyone agreed on one thing: humans were trouble. So the alien coalition prepared. Hundreds of fleets gathered near the border of human space. Thousands of ships waited in the dark void, ready to fight. Generals and admirals from different species met in great command halls, standing tall with pride. They expected a huge battle, one that would test the strength of their entire alliance. But when the human arrival came, everything changed. It started as a small signal, barely noticed on the scanners. Then the signal grew clearer. The aliens turned their sensors toward the empty black, waiting for a massive human fleet to appear. Instead, a single shape emerged from hyperspace. One ship. Only one. The alien halls filled with laughter. Massive, reptilian commanders slammed their tails on the floor in amusement. Insectoid officers clicked their mandibles in disbelief. Some even thought the signal was broken. How could the humans send only one ship against an armada of thousands? An insult, one alien general hissed. A trick, another muttered, but most laughed. To them, numbers meant strength. Size meant victory. Sending one ship was the same as surrender. Across the command screens, the human vessel drifted calmly, its engines glowing faintly. It did not fire. It did not flee. It simply floated in front of the largest fleet ever gathered in galactic history. Inside that lone human ship, the crew was silent. Their captain stood at the center of the command bridge, his eyes calm. Around him, men and women worked at their stations, hands steady, voices low. The air carried no fear. They knew what the aliens did not. Humanity had fought impossible wars before. On Earth, humans had survived ice ages, plagues, and endless battles with themselves. They had faced enemies stronger, faster, and larger. But every time, they endured. Every time, they found a way. The captain looked at his crew. "Remember," he said quietly, "we are not here to fight a battle of numbers. We are here to fight a battle of wills." The crew nodded. Some adjusted controls, others checked weapons, but none doubted their mission. They all knew the truth. Their ship was not just a weapon. It was a message. Outside, the alien fleet began to move. A swarm of smaller vessels flew forward, their weapons armed. They circled the human ship like predators around prey. On the alien command bridge, an insectoid admiral gave the order to fire probes just to test the strange vessel. The first probe vanished in a flash of light. No one saw what happened. The second probe followed, only to disappear as well. By the time the third probe was sent, silence filled the alien command room. When the third vanished, the laughter was gone. Something was wrong. The alien commanders leaned close to their screens. They could not explain it. No explosion, no debris, no warning. The probes were simply gone. On the human ship, the crew watched quietly. Their technology was not as strong as the alien alliance, not as advanced in many ways. But humans had always been good at finding weakness, at using what little they had in unexpected ways. The ship's systems had been designed for more than simple battle. They had been built to confuse, to mislead, to strike at the mind as much as the body. Back in the alien hall, debates began. Some shouted that the humans were using forbidden weapons. Others argued it was all a trick, a hologram perhaps. A few remained silent, remembering old stories, whispers of human wars where small forces had defeated greater ones. But the fleet could not retreat now. Pride would not allow it, so the admirals ordered the first wave to advance. Hundreds of fighters powered their engines and sped toward the single human ship. From a distance, it looked like a swarm of fireflies rushing toward a lone candle. Yet, the candle did not move. The human captain gave no order to flee. His ship stayed still, its dark hull reflecting faint light from nearby stars. The crew worked calmly, watching screens, adjusting controls, waiting. As the alien fighters drew closer, a strange unease spread among them. Their sensors began to fail. Their targeting systems showed false images. Some saw the human ship multiplying into dozens. Others saw it vanish completely. Confusion spread through their ranks, and then, without firing a single shot, the human vessel transmitted a signal. A clear broadcast, sent on every channel, reaching every alien ship. 2 simple words appeared on their screens. "We see you." The alien swarm slowed. Fighters drifted. Pilots shouted in panic. On the command bridges of great battleships, officers exchanged nervous glances. How could one ship disrupt their entire fleet? In that moment, laughter was gone. In its place was doubt. The aliens had expected an easy victory. They had expected humans to be foolish, reckless, desperate. But now, as their fleet circled a single vessel that refused to run, something far more dangerous entered their hearts. Fear. The alien fleet had expected quick victory. For cycles they had prepared, gathering thousands of warships, arming weapons, powerful enough to shatter moons. They thought the humans would come in swarms of ships desperate to defend their small world, but instead, only one ship had come. At first, the alien admirals laughed. To them, it was a joke. The reptilian generals slammed their claws against the floor, their laughter echoing like thunder. The insectoid officers clicked their mandibles in amusement. Even the cold, metallic voices of machine-born commanders carried a hint of mockery. "One ship?" one general scoffed. "Do they think we will surrender to such weakness?" "Perhaps. Humans are already beaten," another replied. "Perhaps they only had one ship left." The command hall filled with cruel humor, but not everyone laughed. In the shadows of the great chamber, a few alien tacticians watched the human vessel. With careful eyes, they whispered to each other, reminding their leaders of ancient stories. Humans were not like other species. One insectoid strategist tilted his head, antennae twitching. "Do not forget," he said. "This is the same species that fought each other for thousands of years. They know war more than any of us." His warning was ignored. Back on the human ship, silence ruled. The crew sat at their stations, steady and calm. Their captain stood tall at the center of the bridge, eyes fixed on the display of the enemy armada. Against them, his vessel looked small, fragile, and unimportant. But he knew appearances were not the truth. "Let them laugh," he said quietly to his officers. "The more they laugh, the less they see." The humans did not hide. Their ship kept its position in plain view, as if daring the enemy to strike. Every move was deliberate, every signal clear. To the aliens, it looked like arrogance. But to the humans, it was strategy. They were playing not with weapons, but with the mind. The first probes had already been destroyed or simply erased from existence when they approached. No alien commander could explain it. Some said the humans used forbidden energy. Others claimed it was only illusion. Yet the fact remained. The probes were gone, and the human ship still remained. The alien admirals, too proud to admit weakness, ordered a new test. Small patrol groups were sent to surround the lone ship. The patrols closed in, their weapons locked. But again, strange things happened. The patrol ships reported strange signals, their radars showing dozens of human vessels where only one existed. Some pilots swore the human ship had vanished into nothing. Others screamed that it had appeared right behind them. No 2 reports matched. The commanders grew angry. "Fools!" one shouted. "Your sensors are broken. The humans are only playing games." Yet deep inside, doubt began to grow. The human ship then broadcast again. No threats, no demands, only a calm, steady signal carried across all channels. "We are here." The message was simple, but its effect was heavy. Thousands of alien soldiers heard it at once. For the first time they wondered, if humans dared to stand before an armada with only one ship, what gave them such confidence? In the alien council, Voices rose in debate. "They insult us, destroy them at once," shouted a reptilian warlord. "No," argued the insectoid strategist. "If it is a trap, we risk shame and failure." "It cannot be a trap," another replied. "What trap could one ship set against thousands?" Still, the room no longer rang with laughter. Meanwhile, the human crew worked like clockwork. Every system was checked, every calculation made with care. The captain walked among them, placing a hand on a shoulder here, giving a nod there. None were afraid. They knew their role was not to fight with brute strength, but to test the will of their enemies. One young officer whispered, "Captain, they must think we are mad." The captain gave a small smile. "Madness and courage are often mistaken. Let them keep guessing." Outside, the alien fleet grew restless. Some captains began to question their orders. Why chase one ship with thousands? Why waste fuel, energy, and time? Some even feared they were being watched, hunted like prey. The humans understood this perfectly. Fear did not always come from guns and fire. Fear often came from the unknown, from what the enemy could not explain. As the alien fleets argued among themselves, the human ship struck its OTW. The alien fleet had begun to change. What had started as confident laughter and mockery had shifted to tension, whispers, and confusion. Thousands of ships, the greatest armada in galactic history, moved like a giant without a head. Every commander feared making the wrong move, afraid that a single mistake could let the humans strike. The lone human ship glided through space like a shadow. It did not rush. It did not panic. Its engines barely whispered across the void. Yet its movements were precise, almost impossible to predict. The crew watched the displays calmly, eyes scanning for every detail. Every alien patrol, every scanner sweep, every fleet movement, they recorded it all. "Captain," said the young navigator, "they are changing course again. They are chasing themselves." The captain's eyes narrowed. "Good. Let them believe they control the fight. That is when they are weakest." The humans were not moving in straight lines. They twisted through asteroid belts, looped around empty moons, and vanished from alien sensors only to appear elsewhere. Every strike the humans launched, if they launched one at all, was carefully aimed at creating confusion rather than destruction. Some ships reported seeing dozens of human vessels. Others said the human ship had disappeared entirely. In alien command halls, panic began to spread. Officers shouted at each other, accusing each other of mistakes. Generals barked orders that conflicted with one another. What had once been a proud, unified fleet now drifted like scattered debris. "This is impossible," muttered one reptilian commander. "How can one vessel move like this? How can they avoid all our attacks?" "Perhaps it is not one vessel," whispered an insectoid officer. "Perhaps we have been deceived. Perhaps they have more hidden ships." The suggestion alone sent shivers through the halls. The alien alliance had counted on overwhelming numbers. They had not prepared for strategy so strange, so unpredictable, so human. On the human ship, the crew understood exactly what they were doing. Every maneuver, every small signal, every apparent disappearance was meant to test the enemy. They were not just evading, they were teaching the aliens a lesson about fear, uncertainty, and human ingenuity. The communications officer, a quiet young woman, spoke softly. "They are falling apart. Their formations are breaking." The captain nodded. "Good. Let them fall. Do not strike yet. Let them chase shadows." The humans' plan was simple but brilliant. They moved in ways the aliens could not understand, striking not to destroy but to disorient. Every wave of alien fighters that approached found nothing. Every probe sent to investigate was met with vanishing signals or false readings. Some alien pilots began to panic. They reported seeing their own comrades attack each other by mistake, their targeting systems twisted by strange interference. Reports came from every direction, each one more confusing than the last. The fleet's leaders began to argue openly. Pride and fear clashed in their halls. "This is chaos," shouted a reptilian admiral. "They are mocking us. We cannot allow this to continue. Perhaps we should retreat," another admitted, trembling. We cannot fight a force we cannot predict. One ship. One ship is tearing our fleet apart. Retreat was unthinkable. Pride would not allow it. Yet fear gnawed at their minds. Even as they debated, the humans continued their silent dance. The human ship slipped through asteroid fields, using them for cover. Sensors tracked every alien movement. The crew adjusted shields, recalculated courses, and ensured they remained invisible until the precise moment of appearance. To the aliens, the ship seemed to vanish into nothingness, then suddenly appear in the middle of their formations. Every move caused doubt. Every pause caused suspicion. And the more the aliens doubted, the weaker they became. "Captain," said the tactical officer, pointing to a map display, "they are breaking their own lines. Their formations are collapsing. They are fighting each other without our help." The captain allowed himself a faint smile. Exactly as planned. Numbers mean nothing when fear guides the hand. Back on the alien flagship, the council watched, in horror as their fleets drifted apart. One ship accidentally crossed the path of another and nearly collided. Orders were shouted, ignored, and repeated. Confusion spread like a virus. "Enough!" roared the reptilian admiral. "Concentrate. Fire. Destroy that one ship before it destroys us all." Yet the humans had anticipated this. As the first wave of alien attacks approached, the human ship twisted into space, slipping past every strike, leaving only empty void behind. One strike, precise and careful, disabled an alien communication array. Another caused a minor explosion. In a fuel depot, enough to start panic without major loss. It was not destruction for power. It was destruction for control. The aliens could not predict it, could not stop it, and could not understand it. Every time they thought they had cornered the humans, the ship would vanish again. Some alien pilots began to whisper among themselves. "They are ghosts. They are monsters. They are humans." The words carried fear. For the first time, the aliens realized that the humans were not just another species to fight. They were something different. Clever, unafraid, and patient. The captain watched silently, his hands folded behind his back. He had no need to raise his voice. He did not need to shout. He let the human's presence speak for itself. Every move the ship made, every shadow it cast in the dark, reinforced the lesson. One human could do what thousands of alien ships could not. The human crew worked as one. No one panicked. No one hesitated. Every glance, every adjustment, every calculation moved them closer to victory. The alien fleets chased shadows, and with each passing moment, their confidence crumbled. In the alien command halls, fear had replaced laughter entirely. Even the bravest officers now questioned their own plans. Could it really be true that a single human ship could dominate an armada? Could one species, so small in number, so fragile in appearance, hold so much power in the mind of its enemy? The captain spoke softly, almost to himself. Let them see. Let them chase. Let them learn the lesson the galaxy has forgotten. Humans fight differently. And in the endless black of space, the lone ship continued its dance of shadows, moving through the void with grace, precision, and silent menace. The humans were patient. The humans were calm. And the humans were winning without firing a single full volley. The aliens did not know it yet, but the first true battle of the mind and of fear had already been won. The alien coalition had become unsettled. Their once confident fleets now drifted like scattered stars, each commander uncertain of the next move. The humans had avoided every attack, outmaneuvered every strike, and left thousands of alien ships chasing shadows. Confusion ran deep, but pride remained. The alien leaders refused to admit defeat. The human captain studied the situation calmly. The fleet before him was enormous, more than enough to crush his tiny vessel if they coordinated properly. Yet coordination had broken under fear and doubt. The humans would exploit this. Every moment of hesitation, every moment of arrogance, gave them an advantage. "Prepare for the next stage," the captain said softly. "We are moving to the heart of their fleet." The crew responded without hesitation. Every station hummed with efficiency. They recalculated positions, adjusted shields, and prepared communication signals. Every officer understood their role. Unlike the aliens, who were paralyzed by fear and indecision, the humans moved as one. The ship slipped through the void with precision, weaving between alien patrols, avoiding direct confrontation while leaving subtle signs of its presence. Sensors picked up tiny fluctuations in energy, enough to cause suspicion but not enough to trace a direct path. The aliens began to chase those shadows, unaware that each move was carefully planned by the humans. In the alien command halls, panic grew. Generals shouted conflicting orders. "Concentrate fire," one yelled. "No, advance. Surround it," another cried. The insects, reptiles, and machines argued in chaotic harmony. Pride warred with fear, arrogance battled doubt. The result was chaos. The humans did not strike weapons yet. They had something far more powerful in mind. Their first goal was not destruction. It was to break the enemy's confidence completely. They would force the aliens to confront the impossible. One ship, unyielding and untouchable, standing in the center of the greatest armada the galaxy had ever seen. The communications officer, a young woman with keen eyes, monitored alien signals. "They're reacting," she said quietly. "Every move they make is based on what they think we will do next." "Exactly," the captain replied. "Let them act, let them make mistakes. Let them believe they are in control." The human ship moved closer to the alien flagship. It slipped through patrol lines, using asteroid fields and debris for cover. Every maneuver was calculated, precise, and silent. It was not attacking, it was teaching. Every subtle movement forced alien commanders to question their plans, their technology, and even their own instincts. The aliens were beginning to realize something terrible. The humans were not like any other species they had faced. They were clever, patient, and fearless. They could predict patterns, exploit weaknesses, and remain calm under pressure. And they did not fight the way the aliens expected. One reptilian admiral shouted at his officers, frustration growing. "It is impossible. How can a single ship evade everything we send?" A quiet insectoid strategist replied, almost to himself. "Perhaps we underestimated them. P forgot what humans are capable." The galaxy had never seen anything like it. A single human ship, small and unassuming, had entered alien space and left an armada of thousands in chaos. Pride had been shattered, confidence broken, and fear had taken root. Yet the human vessel remained untouched, moving calmly through the void as if it had done nothing at all. Back on Earth, the crew had long since finished their mission. They did not celebrate loudly. There were no parades, no fanfare. Their victory was silent but absolute. The captain walked among his officers, surveying the quiet hum of the ship. Every display was normal, every system functioning perfectly. They had accomplished the impossible without a single life lost beyond their own small crew. "They will remember this," the captain said softly, speaking to the young navigator. "The galaxy will never forget the lesson of one ship." The navigator nodded, still trying to grasp the enormity of what had happened. "Do you think they will ever understand humans?" The captain smiled faintly. "Some may. Most will only respect us from a distance, and that is enough." Meanwhile, across the stars, the alien coalition struggled to regroup. Commanders argued endlessly. "We cannot face them," one reptilian admiral admitted. One vessel has undone centuries of preparation." Another whispered, almost in awe, "If this is what one ship can do, what could an entire human fleet do?" No one dared answer. Fear had taken hold. Even the bravest soldiers began to question their purpose, their loyalty, and their strategies. Every plan they made felt uncertain. Every command they gave was second-guessed. The humans had not attacked with weapons of mass destruction. They had not boarded enemy ships. They had not unleashed armies. Instead, they had done something far more dangerous. They had shown that courage, intelligence, and patience could overcome even the greatest numbers. In alien academies, scholars would later teach about this moment. Generals would tell young soldiers that humans were not just flesh and bone. They were forces of will, masters of unpredictability, and champions of endurance. The lesson would be repeated over centuries. Underestimate humans at your peril. Back on the human ship, the crew prepared for the journey home. Their mission was complete, their duty fulfilled. Yet the captain remained thoughtful. The galaxy had been changed, and not by firepower, but by example. One small ship, driven by human determination, had altered the course of history. "Will they return?" asked the communications officer, a young woman who had watched the alien fleet unravel with quiet awe. "They will try," the captain replied, "but they will always hesitate. They will always wonder if there is another human waiting, another lesson to learn." The aliens would remember the message broadcast across their fleet. "We do not fight because we must win. We fight because we cannot accept defeat." Those words had traveled farther than any missile, striking at the pride and certainty of the galaxy's mightiest forces. As the human ship slipped into faster-than-light travel, disappearing into the dark, the captain reflected on the true meaning of their victory. It was not in destroying the enemy, nor in demonstrating technological superiority. It was in showing that humans were different, that humanity's strength came from unity, courage, and creativity. The galaxy would never forget the lesson of one ship. Every fleet, every commander, every soldier who had witnessed the event would carry the memory forever. Humans fought differently, and that difference was enough to change everything. In distant systems, alien fleets began to retreat, not because they were defeated in battle, but because their confidence had been shattered. They feared what they did not understand, and in that fear lay the power of humanity. On Earth, the lone crew returned quietly. Families waited, ships docked, and the world remained unaware of the magnitude of what had been achieved. The captain walked along the quiet corridors of the vessel, passing by the crew, who were already preparing reports, checking equipment, and ensuring the ship was ready for the next mission. "You did well," he said, pausing beside a young engineer. "This is what it means to fight as humans. We endure, we adapt, we survive." The engineer smiled, proud but modest. "I never imagined one ship could do all that." "Remember this," the captain said. "It is not the size of your fleet that matters. It is the size of your courage, the clarity of your mind, and the strength of your will." Across the galaxy, the alien coalition slowly reconstructed itself. Ships were repaired, new strategies discussed, and plans to challenge humans considered. Yet in every discussion, doubt lingered. Every officer remembered the small human ship that had unraveled the mightiest armada without firing a volley of destructive weapons. Every soldier remembered the calm and unshakable crew who refused to run, and in that memory the human's lesson endured. The lone ship, returning to Earth, had done more than survive. It had reshaped the galaxy's understanding of what humans could do. It had shown that determination, intelligence, and courage were weapons far stronger than fleets or armies. The captain gazed at the stars through the viewport, quiet and thoughtful. The void stretched endlessly, filled with possibilities, threats, and wonders. And among them, one small species had proven something remarkable, that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humans could endure, adapt, and prevail. For the alien fleets, the question remained forever. Why did the humans send just one ship? And the answer was whispered across every system, repeated in fear and awe. Because they only needed one. The human crew returned to Earth not as conquerors, but as a reminder of the strength that lay in unity, courage, and human spirit. They had proven that even a single ship, guided by the determination of humans, could leave a mark on the galaxy that no armada could erase. And so, humanity's legend grew, not in size, not in numbers, but in heart, intelligence, and unyielding will. The galaxy would remember this day forever, The alien fleet had been chasing shadows for cycles, and yet the lone human ship had remained untouched. Confusion had spread like wildfire among the alien ranks. Pride had been replaced by fear, arrogance replaced by doubt. For the first time in centuries, the alien commanders questioned their own judgment. The human captain watched the galaxy's greatest armada with quiet calculation. He knew that fear could break armies faster than weapons. And now, after days of careful maneuvering, the time had come for a bold strike. Not one of destruction, but of revelation. "Prepare for the next stage," he said softly. "We strike at their heart, not to destroy, but to show them what they have feared all along." The crew moved with precision. Every station hummed with efficiency. They adjusted shields, calculated trajectories, and prepared communication signals. Unlike the alien fleets, which were consumed by panic and indecision, the humans moved as one. Every officer, every engineer, every pilot understood the mission. Their unity was their strength. On the alien flagship, tension had reached a peak. Generals bickered endlessly. "We are being toyed with," one shouted. "One ship cannot do this. We are the strongest in the galaxy." "Yet it does," replied another, voice low. "We cannot predict it. Every move we make is countered before we act." The command hall was filled with fear disguised as anger. But fear, the captain knew, is more dangerous than any weapon. The humans did not strike with weapons immediately. Instead, they approached the alien flagship in stealth, slipping through the void like a shadow. Their sensors avoided detection. Every movement was precise, calculated to avoid direct confrontation, yet to leave the aliens feeling vulnerable. As they drew closer, the aliens sensed a new presence. Panic surged among the officers and pilots. "It is at our core," one screeched. "The humans are here." "Impossible," shouted another. "They cannot be inside our defenses without destruction." Yet inside the ship nothing had exploded. No alarms rang. The humans had reached their target without firing a shot. The captain allowed a small smile. This was exactly as planned. The humans would not fight like the aliens expected. They would break pride before they broke ships. A broadcast signal was prepared. Calm, clear, and simple, it would reach every alien vessel in the fleet. The words were not threats, not demands, not insults. They were a lesson. We do not fight because we must win. We fight because we cannot accept defeat. The words rippled across the alien fleet. Screens on thousands of ships displayed the message. Officers paused, reading, processing. Their pride was wounded, their confidence shaken. A simple statement had undone months of preparation, years of belief in their own superiority. Some alien commanders panicked completely. They turned on each other, blaming mistakes on incompetence rather than the humans. Orders conflicted, attacks failed, and formations dissolved. The fleet, once mighty and united, now drifted like broken fragments in the void. Yet the human ship remained calm. It had done its job. The alien pride was broken, their unity crumbling, and their fear growing. It was not destruction that had achieved this. It was precision, courage, and the knowledge that humans fought differently. One young human officer spoke quietly, almost in awe. "Captain, they are falling apart. They are questioning everything." The captain nodded. "Good. Fear is stronger than any weapon. Pride, once broken, leaves nothing but doubt." For the aliens, the sight was terrifying. Their great ships, armed with weapons capable of annihilating worlds, could not overcome one single veil that refused to play by their rules. Each attempt to strike W